tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is.
It's our song.
There it is.
We love it so much. Welcome back, Hearties, back to AfterBuzz TV. We are here doing When Calls the Heart AfterBuzz TV after show. We're very excited,
Yes,
as
we
you
are.
can
Very
tell.
excited.
We're doing
Very
the episode Forever in My Heart. I am Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SerafiniTV, and you can follow my co-host.
Hi, I'm Maria Provenzano. You can find me at Maria Provenzano on Twitter, and all of my information will be there.
And to our left, we have, of course.
You can follow me. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me on Twitter now at James Lott
Now.
Jr.
James Lott Jr. You
I
have to
changed it.
spell it out.
And
this
spell out
time.
Jr. Gotta spell out Jr.
And of course, if you Hearties didn't realize, we have special guest, Papa Hardy's in studio, Brian Burns.
We are so excited.
Thanks for being here.
I'm honored to be with you guys. You have a great
The honor is
show.
ours.
The
Thank
honor
you
is
so
ours.
much.
Thank you.
We're very, very excited. So, real quickly, Forever in My Hearts, of course, it tugs at all of our heartstrings.
Oh, I
as
was
this
just
show
a
does.
mess.
You
I was
were.
everybody.
You
I
were.
was here, and everyone was walking past me. I was like, I can't talk to any of you right now because
Yes.
I was a mess.
So, real quick, what were our quick thoughts? We'll talk about the episode, and then we'll definitely talk to you, Brian, all about this because
Yes.
the Hardys want to know, and so do we. But quick thoughts, James.
Again, another uplifting, funny, warm, comfortable show. I mean, just another hour of television that I just didn't want it to end.
Yes. How about
Yeah.
you, Maria?
Well, and I know James loves to talk. First, I usually am like, okay, I'm mad at this person and I love this person. James always mentions the overriding themes, and for me, This episode is very inspiring to me. Very, very, very inspiring and emotional. I think this was probably, for me, the most emotional I have been in an episode. Maybe it's the day I'm having, but it was definitely, it tugged at my heartstrings a lot. Definitely Becky. But yeah, that's sort of like my initial, you leave me wanting more. I mean, that is like how I leave every episode.
Yes, and Brian, you being the executive producer of the show, I'm sure you're very involved, and we saw this episode. What were your thoughts of this episode?
I loved the episode. Now, I have to say, on a personal note, I have two adopted daughters.
Oh,
That
okay.
is amazing.
So-
That speaks to me.
The adoption theme in this show and next show as well is very powerful to me. I mean, I think that there's nothing better than a good adoption story, and it's happened in my own life.
That's
She's
gonna-
I'm worked up
adopted.
right now
Yes.
She's
because
adopted.
I'm
adopted,
personally
Christian.
adopted,
You
so
are.
like that, everything.
Well, my
yes,
two
I
little
love you even more.
princesses are from South Korea. So
Oh, wow.
yes. Out of my 5 kids, 2 of them are adopted daughters.
That's
So-
amazing.
That's like my dream.
My brother's Korean. He's South
God.
Korean too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, South Korea. There you
Wow.
go. I
That's
love it.
very interesting.
I love
Well,
Wow.
but I have to say, I mean, it definitely jibes with my personal life. But the very cool thing about this storyline of Becky and Cody, is that our star Lori Loughlin pitched this to us.
Oh,
Really?
Yes, she
Okay.
pitched it to us last year, and she said, "What if I were to adopt a child?" And it turned into 2. So
Yeah.
which is a double bonus for us.
Yeah.
But, so Lori was deeply involved in helping kind of shape this and bring this story to life. Yeah.
Well, I must say her character is I don't want to play favorites with characters, but I always talk about how much I
Yes.
adore Abigail. She's one of my favorites, definitely.
Wow,
love
that's
her.
amazing. So good to know that.
yeah.
and stuff.
That's good to know that. That's
Wow.
good. So you do listen to the actors, I guess, sometimes.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, actors that know what they're doing.
Right.
Absolutely.
And having the
Absolutely.
connection to their character
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah. How much creative freedom do you give the actors if they come to you with an idea? How much do you allow them to collaborate?
You know, it's an impossible business. To make a TV show that people like is really hard, and so it takes a village, right, to make a show.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody participates. Everybody has a little bit of the ownership of bringing it to life. So we love when our cast steps up and says, what if we did this? What if we did that? And usually it's just small things, just shaping a scene, or if one of our actors says, this if we could adjust this piece of dialogue, it would make more sense to my character.
Right.
We love it because it takes everybody to bring this thing on its feet. It's all in theory until flesh and blood steps up, right?
Takes a village,
and
right?
has to bring it up off the page.
I find that so interesting from an acting standpoint, because I think as an actor they have such, like I mentioned, connection to their character, and the fact that you allow them to have a voice to be like, I will be even more connected. And I think that's why the audience loves the show so much, because they feel that emotional connection.
Right. It's a family, right? It is a family.
is.
It's 100 people in the family, but everybody loves the show. They're all pulling together because I think they know how rare this show is.
We were talking about that before. We were talking about that before. I was saying that sometimes, I like my Walking Dead and everything. I like that stuff too. But I also like this, and we talked about before the show, the balance of a show. We need more shows like this on the air. Like you said, that whole family generate that. And I know I look too young, but me and my grandchildren, I have 3 of them, could sit down and watch together. Right. And there's actually, there's like real themes. Like I said, I was about the themes. There are real themes: feminism, redemption. There's all kinds of stuff that come up on your show that are good for all ages.
Well, all good films, television shows pluck at our heartstrings, right? And I believe we all have the same strings. Honestly, they're like it's violin strings running through all of our souls, and they're tuned to certain themes like redemption, like strength, courage,
Forgiveness. Yes,
absolutely.
The hardest thing to do.
Yep. And when you pluck those strings, everybody in the audience, even the most cynical people, will feel that tug on them, because we all want that. We all need hope, and it's a rare opportunity for us to do a show, at least in today's day and age, that leaves people with hope on Sunday nights. They're going back into battle on Monday.
That's true.
Right? How about a little shot of hope before you have to go into that mess?
I'll take 2 shots of hope. If I go on Monday. But no, you're right. A lot of people do feel like they're going into battle, whatever it is they're doing for that week. I feel like comfort food to me. I've said it before on the show.
It's
like
definitely comfort
when you have a
food.
really good meal, it's like it feels like a good meal, like a good stew. Like I've had, during the winter time. It leaves you feeling nice and full. But your heart's full.
Yeah.
See, I did that.
Yeah.
My heart's full. But
Seriously,
I think that's what it feels like to me.
Well, and it's not junk food,
No.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not junk food.
Exactly.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it is.
It's something that we all need, and I think that's what maybe technology in this day and age generation, we've gotten so far away from the morals and values that we used to value in shows, because it's all about killing and like sex and whatnot, and the show doesn't have that.
Right.
And I think it's good to have a great clean show that we can all love and have the universal themes.
Exactly, and I think also having the passion there between 2 people without it having to be like very like
Over
the top, too much
Right.
sex, like kind of thing. There's more passion there, and you feel that there's love, which is so much more interesting to watch, I feel like.
The longing.
The
The
longing.
longing.
Right, it's what we call chaste romance, right?
Yes.
It's still romantic,
Yeah.
Of
but
course.
they're choosing to be chaste until it's appropriate for them not to be.
Right.
Well, this show has trained me, because I'm like, why are they kissing yet? That's the scene that should kiss. Why are they kissing? And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it, because I'm so trained that
Exactly.
they should be kissing all the time.
And you
but
want them to.
Right.
I was so mad. Like in this episode, I know I get very passionate about this. So yeah,
We are
Elizabeth and
passionate about the
Jack,
show.
they have like their moment, and I'm like,
Go for it, dude.
And then they're like, leave me wanting more.
They're so close. Why not?
Yeah,
So
right.
close.
But you're right. I like that.
Well, I had a few tweets last night in our record-breaking
That's
Yes.
right, Hardy.
The Hardys are out there.
158,000 tweets
Yes.
last night.
158.
Second only to Walking Dead, which only had 25,000 more tweets.
Yeah,
than
that's
us.
it.
Wow.
That's it.
And they have 10 million more viewers than us.
Yes.
So
So much.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Oh,
But,
I
I
think that's
tweeted
amazing.
last night that the reason that kiss didn't happen is Jack had just come from the saloon where he had cornbread and chili. So, right?
Okay.
Right?
Cornbread.
So he was being polite.
The chili.
The chili.
The chili. It's like I get that one. Now I get it. 'Cause I'm like, they're so close. Like, okay.
I know.
All right, fair enough. I get that.
Yeah, I get it. Well, fair enough. I get it.
Like,
I just
I'll
want-
give him a pass.
I just want to tell you, right now, and it's growing, are 68 people who are watching
Yay.
live.
The Hardys
They
are
are
such
saying
an
hi to you.
amazing community.
They're loving you that you're here. They're liking everything you're saying so far. So I'm just
We
letting you know.
love them right back. They're awesome.
Yes,
They're
we
amazing.
love this. Let's get into the actual
Yes,
show and
let's
what
finish it.
happened.
Yes,
There's so
finish it.
much to talk about.
Yes, yes.
This investigation between Lee's Mill is being sabotaged.
Ooh.
I think it's Wade Barrett.
She
Brian,
is
could you
so
speak to this?
passionate
She is about this.
Wayne.
I
She is.
need you to validate my prediction because I truly believe it's Wade Barrett. Because he's the one, he's the one giving all the information every time something breaks down. He's the one relaying the bad news. And I always say, if it's the person giving the information, it's probably the one who did it.
That would be
And-
pretty predictable, though, wouldn't it?
I know.
Ooh, see? Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
I like that. Okay.
It's too obvious.
That's what I said.
But they condensed and consolidated a list of potential suspects, and Wade Barrett's number one.
Yep, I know.
He's literally the top of that list, and he's top of my
Well,
list.
the thing about that, well, they ruled out Gowan. That's why they did rule him out.
Yes.
That he seemed like he was telling the truth.
Yeah, because of
The poker
Billy.
game and
You can,
everything.
yeah,
Poker face.
You can
Yeah.
tell.
Poker face.
Yeah. So, but Wade's everywhere. He's like you said, Jack said, Wade's everywhere. He's supposed to be everywhere.
Well, that's
is.
the thing. She's so mad.
I know, she's totally like...
I don't trust him. I don't. Like, he's a shady dude from the start. No.
He's a little too friendly with Elizabeth, too.
I know.
Well, why not? I mean,
Yes.
she's pretty, and he's next door.
He's a neighbor.
Jack does not like that.
Convenient.
He was mad.
Yeah, Jack wasn't liking it at all. No, he didn't like that. Mhm.
I said it before, Wade being the neighbor can be the first one at Elizabeth's beck and call.
Right.
Not good.
I know. Now, people are saying Hickam. He's so silent. Like, he's just so kind of like the goofy kind of...
Okay. And he's always there too,
He's
with
always there,
Wade,
too,
in
with Wade.
fairness. So.
I started that rumor, I believe.
Red herring.
To throw everybody off.
What about Jesse? You don't like Jesse either.
He's growing on there. He's growing on there. We'll get to
Jesse's
Jesse.
good. Leave him alone. He's good.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. I root for Jesse.
Yes.
I root
Jesse
for
and
Jesse.
Clara.
Yes. Okay, so this poker game, because they had the fun poker game between
was
Jack
fun.
and Gowan, just to rule out if Gowan is the one actually behind the sabotaging. What are your thoughts?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe he really isn't behind it all. Maybe he's too busy trying to get Nora and get her home and all that stuff going on, and maybe he's not really behind. Maybe that's the natural choice you would think. Isn't he behind everything?
True. Yeah.
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not.
Well, I think it's usually Gowan who's behind it.
But usually,
From the
yeah.
previous seasons and all
Right.
these episodes, Gowan's usually the person where
Right.
you're like, hey, it was me.
Right.
But
No, right. No, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we're so far into the show now that we needed someone else to
Yeah.
be the scapegoat, I
Right.
guess, in a way.
Yeah. 'Cause you're right. Gowan
Yeah.
usually Gowan owns his stuff. I mean, he doesn't.
And now he wants to own the land that
I
Jack
know,
is trying
I
to
know,
buy.
of course.
He's eyeing.
I know.
Like, Gowan, you own too much land already.
Okay, that was another thing that made me want to cry. Guys, I was not okay during this episode when they were having this picnic,
You were
and he's
emotional.
I did like it.
"I'm interested in this land," and I was like, "No, this is not. You're not allowed to have
But I'm
this."
kind of rooting for him and Nora too.
But not for that land.
Look at this.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
He could do better on his dates, though, than pick a frozen piece of land.
That was a cold picnic.
Oh, that's kind of. I think crisp is the word you want to use. It was a crisp picnic.
What are your thoughts of this picnic?
I like it. I like picnics. Why? What?
But showing a softer
Oh
side.
yeah,
now
so I'm
that,
like, I like picnics.
now
I'm
that
like,
Nora's
fine.
back in
What
the
did you
picture.
think of the date?
Yeah, no, I think love seeing Christina Wagner first of all doing anything. So I'm happy to see her on the show. But no, I think it was great because it does show a softer side to him, and that he actually has a heart in there somewhere. It's hard in business, but personally, he wants to be loved.
everybody needs some love.
Yeah.
And I personally like seeing a softer side to him, but I feel like so much of me is angry with him because I feel like he's been so malicious that it's so hard to be like, oh yes, you should be happy. It's like, okay, well you know, I don't know. It's such a tough, I don't know, I guess balance. But I don't know. I don't know if he's the one behind.
I don't think Gowan's the one.
I don't think he is
behind
either. I
this.
don't think he is.
I think it's.
Wow.
Every good conspiracy needs a puppet master of some kind.
True.
Yes, that's true.
I'm not saying.
Come
it's
on,
Gowan,
Brian.
but-
Everyone's like, look at Brian.
They're all James. Get
Like,
this
he's
out
so
of Brian.
quiet over
So I'm
there.
sitting next to him, so they're like, James, get it out of him. I'm like, what would you like? Just like, you know,
and every
have a
villain,
cookie. Have a cookie.
Have a
Yes.
cookie. And
We'll start
every,
talking.
And
These
every
are for
villain,
you.
every villain was somebody's baby once, right?
That's a good, yes.
True.
I like that.
So
Don't say that to me. I'm a
he has
mommy.
a,
I'm a mommy.
But that's kind of my point is
That's
that, you
true.
know, that every villain, there is another side to them that before they turned
Right.
bad.
Yeah.
And it has to be still in there somewhere. And the love of a good woman could be one way to bring it out.
and they have passed together, definitely, these two.
So do we think Nora is a good fit for Gowan?
Yes.
That she'll soften him and make him become a better person or help him
Yes.
change
I
his
think
ways?
so.
Yes.
I
Turning
think
the
it seems like it. I mean, she's already bringing out good sides of him. So.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's good for him.
What are
You're
your hopes
smiling.
for Gowan, Brian?
You know what? I love the idea of villains who are human beings.
Yeah.
Right, and they're not cartoon characters. I mean, sometimes they end up being cartoons in shows and films, and so the fact that he and Nora have a past together, the fact that they have a very intimate past together, right? Clearly, based on sort of some of the information that's been revealed
Yes.
over the course of the last 2 seasons.
Yes.
I just find it much more fulfilling, and doesn't mean that he's gonna suddenly, you know, turn over a new leaf and be the nicest guy in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always gonna fight off, you know, sort of the dark side. But we're all doing that to a certain degree.
I like that. I like a guy like almost like Bill. Bill has an edge to him. He's a Mountie, well, ex-Mountie, with a little edge to him.
Right.
And I think it's okay because for TV it's great. I mean, he brings
Of course.
possibilities. So I think with Gowan, if he has a love of a good woman on one side, but a little ruthlessness on the other side, that'd be a good tug of war thing going on there.
Yep.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
Dark night of the soul.
I like
Absolutely.
that. Yes.
I think it's interesting if Gowan so far has been the big baddie of the town, that he's
big
really
baddie.
the main antagonist
Right.
throughout all these seasons.
Right.
And if he starts to be good in ways, we see his better side and whatnot, that kind of opens the door for another villain to come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that. Does yes.
So, one worse than Gowan? I don't want to think about that.
Wait.
But, wait. We'll just go back to work.
Go back to ways, back to
I
ways.
don't know. Guys, I literally have zero prediction. I have no
yeah,
idea.
Same here. Me either. Same here.
Good.
That's all good. It's all good.
So that's because we do predictions at the end, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, this one I don't know, but all I know is that Rosemary's going to be a movie star.
Well, people are saying, people are saying here, Martin Cummings is so perfect as Gowan. He is good as Gowan.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
Great actor.
And I
Amazing.
will say, just from I guess a visual standpoint, I love the costuming because I
Oh,
love
me
how
too.
they make him. He has his darker clothes, and it's
yeah.
just I think everything is so. The details that go into this show, I think, is so wonderful. Like even one time, I was like, "Did you see Elizabeth painted her walls?"
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
all these things that I think really show the even more in depth of their character traits, but subtly. You know what I mean? Which is so interesting.
And I just want to mention, Peter DeLuise directed the episode.
Yes, he
I mean,
did.
he's part of the big DeLuise family, and
Yes,
I was
he
like,
is.
that's really interesting. He did a good job.
He did a great job.
Did a great job.
Yeah.
Just want to mention that.
We love him.
Excellent. All right, so let's get on to Jack and Faith. Faith stays in the picture.
Elizabeth was not having that either.
Jack's very helpful with Faith, giving the food and helping her along, bringing the foods to the settlers.
Yes.
And I was like, no, Jack, if you keep helping Edith, you're going to be late for your date with Elizabeth.
I know she was not happy about that.
But he's a man, he's a gentleman, he helps. I was like,
Yes.
I'll give you that too.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, I agree. It's funny because there's not a bad person in this threesome. A lot of
Yes.
triangles. Saying this is a triangle per se, but like a triangle is usually there's one villain trying to stop the other two.
Right.
But no, there's all three good people.
Right.
And it's just a circumstance that he really looks out for Faith. And Elizabeth wants to like. She says, "I want to like her,"
Right.
but she's.
but she doesn't trust Faith with Jack.
Right,
Not Jack
exactly.
with Faith. She
Right.
trusts Jack,
Yes.
but she doesn't trust Faith.
That was a very interesting line.
Yes.
I think that's very human of women, though. I mean, you look at, generally speaking, infidelity, not that this is, but if you look at it, generally your first reaction is to not like the woman. And in reality, it's like, who's the one who really did you wrong? So, but that's human of her. I think any woman would react the same way. I don't like him being with her because it's her. You know what I mean? And I always want to say I want to not like Faith, but she's so likable.
I know.
And I mean, I think her character is great. I want her to stay there.
Me too.
I want her to meet somebody. Maybe she'll date Wade.
Wade. Aww.
Everyone's probably going to be like, no.
When she's
go
not
home.
bad anymore.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the folks on here are saying they think that actually Faith is innocent, that Elizabeth has nothing to worry about. That's what they're saying on here. I
Well,
don't
they
know if
also
that-
said they think Elizabeth is insecure about
Yeah.
it. That's what they said too.
I know. So.
Which is real life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I think that goes with, like you were saying, women in general, they have their reservations and insecurities, and so do men as well. Because we see it goes both ways.
True.
That
Right.
Jack doesn't like Wade being with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth doesn't like Faith being with Jack.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah, nobody
true.
wants to go into the friend zone,
Nope.
right? So,
After
but good drama is
That was
painting
funny.
people into impossible situations, right? Where the audience is saying we're sort of conflicted too,
Yeah.
because we like certain things about one character and we love this character, so it's an impossible circle. And a lot of the Hardys last year didn't like all the love triangles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, Downton Abbey was full of them. There are like 15 relationships
Right, you're
that
gonna-
were
that's true.
resolved
That's so
by
true.
the end of Downton
That's
Abbey.
funny.
We're not
So
down to
it's just it's good fuel. It's good
Yes.
fuel, for keeping the show fresh and exciting and dramatic and.
Do you ever, like, you see all the fans out there, the Hardys talking, do you ever look at some things they're saying and go, okay, I know they're upset about this or that, and you go, that's good. That means we're doing something right. Necessarily not trying to change and go, we're going to do whatever they say. It's more of like, that's good.
Well, you push the right buttons
Right.
when you get the biggest reaction.
Yeah.
Right. The balance is to not alienate our beautiful Hardys, because they are the bread. They're the butter that
Yeah.
butters the bread.
Yeah.
At this point, we think they're the best fan group in the world.
I agree.
So
I totally agree.
We don't want to alienate them, but we also want to challenge them, right? To think
Yeah.
through things and give them. We want to give them what they want, and we'll get there. But
Slowly.
patience is a virtue in Hope Valley.
Folks, he ain't giving up anything. Sorry. They're looking here like he's nodding and listening. Yeah, he's not giving up nothing. He's not giving up nothing.
We still have 40 more minutes.
Okay, that's right. We're not done with him yet.
Not
Try
yet.
something out
Dig a
of
little
me.
deeper.
So we see Jack, he's with the settlers, and we get Edith back with her child.
Yes, with Oliver.
But now Edith is having man problems because her man who left her before the birth
Roy, yes.
of Roy. Roy left her, which was really
Well,
weird.
he didn't know. He didn't know.
He didn't know.
He
So
didn't
I
know.
think that
But-
kind of, yeah.
He did leave her still, but he left her as a husband.
did leave her. And what do you think of Jack during this situation trying to help get Roy back involved into Edith's life?
Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm really into this. Okay. So the thing I feel like caught up in this because I was so curious why they thought they were bad husbands and wives because they never really said.
No.
And I think I'm married, and I think there's certain days that go by where I'm like, I'm such a bad wife. Like, and not because of like any other reason besides like, we have a toddler and our house is a mess and I didn't make dinner and I look like I just like woke up and so that's where I'm like, I'm a bad wife. But when I watch a show like this and it's so, like we say, these storylines are so human, and I'm like, why does he think he's a bad husband? Why does she think that she's a bad wife? So it's like they both thought they were guilty in this situation. And I admire her strength, by the way, but I also admire Jack for really like investing himself in this. Like he has, passion for this. Like he wants to fix it.
Yeah, my thing is, what I love about this show also is not everything is wrapped up into a neat bow, and just like real life. And it shows that even though we're talking man to man, and I've had talks like that with my male friends about serious things sometimes, you can't fix them. You just can't. You can give your advice, but they're going to feel how they feel about their own manhood and what they do in terms of relationships. So Jack was earnest in trying, but it was kind of like Roy was stuck to his guns. And even though he kind of won him over to say, here, give some money, that was just kind of as far as he was willing to go. And it's like, Jack, you can't make another man do something they don't feel
That they don't
secure
want.
about.
But I do admire him for trying.
Of course,
I
of course.
think it's important. I thought he felt it was important for him to know that he has a child, and he didn't know that. So I think it's one thing to like leave somebody, but it's another thing to leave your child and, you know, the person you have this child with. And the one thing that I wrote in my notes, and he says to him, like, it's not about the money, it's about being a man. And I was just like, so, you know, that's just so passionate, I think.
Yeah, it's not about the money. I think it's about actually putting in the effort and trying to maybe continue a relationship or working relationship between the father and the mother for the child, and maybe just actually putting in the effort.
Right.
Rather than money is a good gesture, but I think Jack was even searching for more. It's like, I need you to actually care.
Well, see, money is the easy scapegoat also. He's like, I'll give money to the problem. That shows that I do care on some level,
Right.
but I'm not really getting too involved. And we see that today. We see that a lot of times today.
yeah.
Where they're like, I'll just give you money, but I can't take Saturday off to be with my son and, you know, and play for 5 hours. You know, like, it's just here. I'm working hard. And I have his job, and I'm making sure you have clothes on. Isn't that enough? And it's like, no,
No,
you
it's
need
not.
the other stuff. And that's what this kind of showed.
Well, it's again another sort of impossible corner, right? So
Right.
Jack is risking being late for his date with Elizabeth by going and trying to help some people. Now he's going to challenge this young man to step up, right? Well, you know, to me, the beauty of that story is that, and again, why Wynn calls the heart is elixir for the soul, right? Of our culture. Fatherlessness is one of the worst problems ever.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's the root of most of the fractures in our culture. So the idea, we did this in season 1 too, with one of our characters in season 1 who came back and had lost his leg. Right, Adam
right.
Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Miller.
Yes, yes,
right,
yes,
and
yes.
Jack kind of encouraged him to step up and to not, you know, wallow in self pity. What I love about the Roy storyline is that he is fearful. He's not a bad man.
No.
He's not abusive. Right,
No.
that was verified.
Yes.
He's afraid. He feels unworthy as a dad, as a husband, and he's afraid he's not going to be a good provider. That's a very honest, real, universal story, and so to me, and give us a chance to tie it up with a big red bow.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm not sure.
It's not finished yet.
Okay, so you heard that part, guys. I did that one.
Right.
Yes.
But you know, again, that's what hope is about. That is sort of healing relationships, and I love that Jack is as noble as he is,
Right.
and he doesn't strong arm the guy, right? He goes and he reasons with him.
No.
Just gives him a little push.
Yeah.
I like that.
I loved it.
So just so many of your themes are just so they work today, even though it's set in that time period. It could be set any time period. I mean, it's
Timeless. It's
Yeah.
timeless situations that
Yeah.
everyone can relate to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
All right, so let's get to Rosemary because we see
Oh my God, great
a
storyline.
movie comes into Hope Valley.
Yes.
They're filming, very fun, and I'm sure
Yes.
Rosemary's all excited and
Yes.
ecstatic more so. Her interaction with Tobias Pope, the director,
Yes.
I love this so much. This is so true to her character, and Paskin is amazing.
Oh, she's
She's so funny. Definitely, this was like I feel like the levity of the show.
yes, I agree.
And because we will get serious when it comes
Yeah.
to
The Becky
Abigail.
storyline. Yeah, we'll get
we'll
that.
get there.
Yeah.
But Rosemary, what are your thoughts of Rosemary and how excited she was about this?
I loved this story and I loved her moment. I felt so connected to her and I felt that she was so just real and vulnerable in this moment, and I took like a bajillion notes. But her little monologue, like someone giving you a chance, someone who could just like basically say yes to you, and that resonated with him. And I think it resonates with all of us, given like that one person who has the opportunity to really change your life, so they just gave you the chance because you know you are worthy of it.
Yes.
And so that was like. Drop the mic. I mean, I loved that moment. What did you think, James?
Yeah, it was the levity moment of the show. What I thought was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious that everybody had roles on the show. On the movie,
Except
but
for
her.
Rosemary.
Even Hickam, yeah.
Even Hickam had a role. I'm like, God, I just she's Because I said this before on the show, this character, to me, is one of the few that walks a fine line of being super annoying and unlikable and being likable. I mean, and just being the right amount of just kind of wild and bluster and all. I mean, she's such a great, she does such a great job.
Yeah.
So I was rooting for her to get a role on there, and it was funny when the other guy came in, the leader of the head of the studio. Right. At the end, was like, oh my God, it's Rosemary. Like, where? Like, how does he know her? And it was like this whole thing, and just her whole thing about I played this thing and this thing, and I played
James
this.
Addison, played by Lachlan Monroe.
Yes, I was like, I know who he is. I was like, oh my
I'm actually
God.
a big fan of him.
Yeah,
So I was like,
I
oh,
was
hey.
like, I know you.
Yeah, I know you.
He's a big star in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, so I know who he is too. But yeah, so I
I was a big
just
Charmed fan.
I thought she was. Yeah, he was on his Charms. Yeah, so I just thought it was a fun storyline. And it's just showing how Hope Valley is growing. Now you got people coming there to film.
Yes.
Do you think this motion picture will put Hope Valley on the map?
I don't know. I just said this town is growing really fast. Got an infirmary going now, and and it's some of the stuff going on. I thought this movie
we gotta
thing.
fix the sawmill.
Yeah, we gotta fix the sawmill.
True.
And then we can.
Let's get the employment back together.
Since it's the only employer in town.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Do we know the actual population of the town?
That's a great
Small.
question.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. I don't think we've ever identified that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to establish that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Marisa.
But no, I'm just thinking because
Yeah.
I personally come from a small town, and it seems so. I relate to that aspect where everyone knows each other. When you see each other in a cafe, you talk across the room because you all know each other.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think like how big is that town,
Oh, yeah.
and if it is growing, what will that do to the dynamic of the community?
Well, there's new stuff happening all the time, and with the settlers now, on the outskirts of town as well, they have to get integrated, right?
It's funny. I was laughing at the name Mary Medford as the star. I'm thinking of Mary Pickford. I was thinking. I went straight that direction. Obviously,
right.
I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. I kind of like that.
But no better a medium for Rosemary Laveau than silent movies.
I know. I thought it was hilarious.
That's what I thought was hilarious. And
God.
people are mentioning that on here. Like she never shuts
She
up.
never stops.
Like, that was
Yes.
her reaction. And he's like, "Oh, it's a silent movie." She's like,
Yeah. It's like, okay.
I thought it was hilarious.
What's my motivation as a saloon girl
Oh, that was hilarious too.
coming to work?
I know. It was some great lines. It was some great lines, and that actor was really funny too.
Yeah,
His
he did well.
exasperation was just like, oh my God, that was kind of good.
Silence.
Yes.
Silence.
It was a great
I love
little
it.
storyline.
I think this will be fun if you see this more in the upcoming episodes and how this will change what's going on.
Will we see
and
more
who
of this in
other
the upcoming
people will come in.
episodes?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
He told us that, you
Yep.
kids. Told us
Yep.
that. Okay,
So,
cut that out.
We're trying, guys. We're
If
trying.
Rosemary does get her face out to the masses and whatnot, and she's on a higher platform, what will that do to her
Right.
and her character? Will she be offered more roles, and would that make her up and leave and go to other bigger things?
Yeah. What about Lee?
What about Lee?
Or
Stuck
Lee.
with his broken thumbnail.
yeah. Exactly.
You gotta fix Lee's problem first.
Yes.
It's wait.
They gotta
Step
stay.
one.
They gotta stay together. They gotta stay together. They can't break
know.
this.
It's really cute.
I
Yes,
think
there you
I
go.
thought that she was how he gave her the plan without really knowing he gave her
Yeah.
the plan. I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
I love his reaction too. He's like, "Oh."
Those two actors are so good together too.
I think so too.
They're great.
God, they're the chemistry, because there's a lot of bantering between them, a lot of fast talk between them.
In real life too.
Oh, in real life too?
Yes.
Oh, they're like that in real life?
Oh, and very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not acting that much.
That is so funny.
I like that.
Is anything improvised during the show, or like
that's a
how
good
strict
question.
are you to the actual script,
You know,
or
when
do you allow?
I mean, there's always a little bit of that,
Okay.
right,
Okay.
in any television show. But when you are shooting, basically 2 episodes in 14 days,
Oh, wow.
it's you're running and gunning. So
Right.
there's not a lot of room for experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, one of the actors will say, it might be a little funnier if I said it this way, and we will say, go for it. Or at the very least, we'll shoot it both ways.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right, we'll get a take with it as it's written, and then a take with the improv. So
And that's so interesting, like from just coming from a production standpoint, that it's really filmed, like you said, in that short amount of time, but it's filmed like a movie. Whereas like you can shoot, film a sitcom where it's like multi cameras and it's already lit and you kind of have your setup.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 you're done.
Yeah.
Whereas something like this is like a film. I don't know how you guys do
Well,
that.
it's a challenge. It's it's basically we shoot 2 episodes at a time.
Okay.
So each 2 episodes is sort of we call it a block of production. And so, for instance, if we're in the saloon, we'll stay in the saloon for a full day.
Okay.
And we might shoot 2 or 3 scenes from both episodes. So the actors have to kind of come and go.
Wow.
Through both scripts.
Oh wow.
Wow.
As they're shooting. So.
And watching it, you would never.
No.
They're good.
Isn't that great when you can watch a show and you don't think about?
You would never tell.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like I always overanalyze the acting when I watch anything, and it's so funny that you say that because when I watch that, I always feel like it flows so nicely.
Yeah, they're just all very gifted.
How was it to cast this cast? Because there was a movie first.
Yeah.
And there was a different cast.
Right.
So how hard was it? How easy was it?
It was a long process that in working with the Hallmark Channel to sort of determine who would be best as Jack and Elizabeth. That we knew Lori Loughlin was coming aboard.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
that was a done deal there. Yeah. But in terms of getting just the right Jack and Elizabeth, and they were the magic between those 2 actors.
Wow.
Was unbelievable.
Wow.
And we saw other good actors too,
sure,
but
sure.
they just connected. And they even have a story that they tell, and you can ask them about it when they come on the show.
We will.
About
Marisa, what about that
how-
question? Yes.
It was almost a magical moment between the 2 of them
Oh, wow.
over a keychain.
Oh.
So I'll let
Let them
them
tell
tell
a
their story. But
I have
they're-
goosebumps.
yeah.
They
They
better
set
come
up.
on here. Now you
Yes.
got me all
I
excited.
know.
We would love to have them on
Yes.
again. They would have
Yes.
so much fun.
And with that, the Hallmark Channel is in our live
Oh,
chat
yeah.
on
Hey,
YouTube.
Hallmark.
So they wanted us to ask you this question.
Okay, all right.
They
What
did.
relationship advice would you give to Jack and Elizabeth?
Wow.
They asked us. Your network asked us.
They
It's not
asked
in
you.
there.
Yeah.
I am
Blind
just
is it?
the
Have to
relaying
answer.
the
Talking about
message.
blindsiding me.
Exactly.
You know what? I will give Jack and Elizabeth a piece of advice from my own relationship with my wife of 35 years.
Go. That's right. 35 years.
Love is a choice, not a feeling.
Ooh.
Every day,
Interesting.
you've got to make the choice. It's not just a feeling. It can be a feeling, but it's not just a choice. I mean, it's not just a feeling. It's a choice, and sometimes it's an act of the will.
I feel that. Hey,
as you know.
I feel you. I understand that one.
That's
But
profound.
for them to have a meaningful relationship that could maybe end in a marriage, who knows? On this show,
Well, we got to see the engagement first.
this is exactly. This is this is a huge decision for them,
Yeah.
and they've been through a lot of bumpy roads, and there may be more to come, but it's a big decision, and so they need to choose to love each other, not just say, "Well, I feel all warm and fuzzy now."
Right.
That
Wow.
question from Hallmark is saying that came from Erin Krakow.
That's so much you can say that. That's so funny. Go on,
That
Erin.
is hilarious.
Thank you for doing that to me, sweetie. Put me on the spot.
Thank you, Erin.
Aaron
Oh
and
my
Daniel,
gosh,
you're
that's
next.
so
That's hilarious, Erin. Okay.
That's amazing.
Oh, Erin.
All right.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
you know what? When Erin hopefully one day will come on our show,
Yes.
you can get on our live chat and throw some
Yeah,
things
throw it
in
in
her
there.
head.
Trust me.
There you go.
Payback.
I love it. That's so funny. I love it.
Well, speaking of important relationships, we see Becky's important relationship. Becky comes back
Yes.
into the picture, and Cody was so sweet in this moment. And finally having his big sister.
No, I can't handle that.
Really
God.
worked up.
I'm sorry. If you can finish what your question was.
Sounds like you had one
I just
already.
interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Okay. No. Okay, so Becky comes back, but she's not walking. This isn't good. And do you think that's psychosomatic? That something terrible is hindering her from actually wanting to walk? Because they say, we see Dr. Burns, she has the ability to walk,
Yeah.
but she want to walk.
As a former nurse, I know this can happen personally. I've seen patients go through this, and I like the fact towards the almost other side of the episode where Abigail tells Elizabeth, let her do it in her own time. Because Elizabeth, you tell me to be patient. Because she's not walking. She's having fun. But she's not walking. It's and it's a good metaphor for life. She's kind of like, just let her do it. When she's ready to walk, when something's important, she will get out of that chair, which we saw her do, of course. But I think it's a great metaphor for life. Just, again, for me, you can't tell somebody what to do.
Right.
You can be helpful to a point. And that's a good lesson also, I think. That it's nice to be helpful and try to be there. But you have to also kind of stop for it, kind of back off for a second and let them process it and
they
work
have
it
to
out.
figure it out themselves.
Yeah, figure it out themselves.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was so beautifully worded in the end by Elizabeth when she was writing. She was saying how Becky was in this self-imposed prison and overcoming these obstacles to unleash the human spirit. I mean,
love that.
Okay, so when I saw her in a wheelchair, I instantly lost it because I was like, no! But I was so happy to hear that she had the potential to walk again, and she just really needed that motivation. And I think it's almost like that, like we say, these are metaphors for life. When you're surrounded by people who inspire you and uplift you, you literally become a better person. So it's kind of that she needed that inspiration, and you saw it when she was in the school, and Elizabeth looked at her, and you see how intelligent she is because she's doing all these engineering sketches. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and I love the feminism that kind of comes out.
There you
Like,
go.
anybody can do this, and there's women who are engineers, and she has that
I'm
moment.
an engineer.
She is.
Yes.
I'm a video engineer here.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she is.
Women power.
It's just amazing that, and Elizabeth has the ability to tie everything in, and she has that moment with Becky, and just like those little things that add up that kind of create something bigger, which I think is so wonderful. I loved this storyline.
I too, and I love the fact when everybody kind of just left the room. She's like, my notebook.
Yeah.
I started to chuckle a little bit. It's just kind of funny. And then when she saw it, she really wanted, that was her thing. She really wanted her notebook. She found a way to get up. And I love when Deborah comes in and holds. I started crying when she was holding her hand.
She's like, I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you. I was just like, I mean, it was a moment and she kind of smiled. I was like, that was her motivation. She was ready that's when she was ready.
Yes.
And Abigail just makes me, Abigail's a great mother.
She is a great mother.
God.
Is.
So that brings us to the question, do you think Abigail will still remain the mother figure for the surrogate mother for Cody and Becky now that the aunt comes into the picture?
Well, they say she's like, you don't even know them, and I think they want to stay with her, and
Get to know them, stay.
and Cody's become such a he's really coming around and becoming a stronger kid, and we talk about the relationships of fathers and sons, but I think it's also having just that parent, someone who unconditionally loves you, and like we say, just because they're not biologically your parents, they can still be your parents, which I think is so wonderful.
Brian
Yes.
Bird, if this, I'm scared to watch this next episode.
I'm scared.
I'm scared because if you take these kids away from her, I'm gonna be tweeting you.
Yeah.
All right, so
We're all
scared.
tweeting you.
so something I learned and something you've learned
Yes.
in your life
Personally.
is that love is thicker than blood,
yes,
Yes.
it is.
right? So Cody and Becky's aunt is blood.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say love is thicker than blood.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You guys are. Oh my God.
I can't think about it
this
right
is
now
all-
because
I'm
I'm
starting to cry.
I'm actually, this really does
Yeah.
hit
Yeah.
me
It does.
emotionally,
It
so
does.
because I can't even think straight right
Well,
now.
and I even think of like how much I love my child, and so when she goes up to her and she's like, "I'm so proud of you," it's like I have those moments with my son, and so when I watch the show, I'm just like,
Yes.
it's really, it resonates, which
Yeah.
I think is so
Well, just
why
a
the people love it.
personal story,
Yes, please.
parenthetically for 30 seconds here.
Okay.
Yes.
When my oldest daughter, she's now 21, senior in college, adopted from Korea as a baby. When she was about 6, and we had her little sister come, Mackenzie, she said, "Dad, do you love us differently than you love our brothers?" Because their brothers, all 3, are biological children. And I had to think on my feet there,
Yeah. So.
Right.
because you could answer that wrong in a lot of
Oh,
ways.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I said, yes, we love you differently. We love you more than them.
Oh, buddy.
You're princesses, they're thugs.
I like that.
That was the right answer.
That's a good answer. I
That's
like
a good
that.
answer.
amazing.
That's a good answer.
That's amazing.
She's getting me turned over there.
I know,
Stop it.
like
I know.
I'm seriously worked
Oh
up
my
because
God.
my family, all my siblings, all 5 of us are adopted because my mother couldn't have children. So there's 3 of us who are Caucasian and 2 of us who are Asian, And so we obviously physically look different, and so we always get the questions like, "Oh, you can tell that my brother and I are adopted, but the other 3 you can't." Right. So we always get that resonating question, but it's because we're all adopted. We all had that same question. Like they love all of us because they handpicked us.
That's right.
So,
That's right. That's
done.
right.
That I love.
Love is thicker than blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my new quote. I'm stealing that from you.
Well, but I also think
You're welcome to
I think it's also a great metaphor just in life in general. I lived in San Francisco for a while where a lot of us were transplants. And some of us did have kids, and I had kids young, and some of us had kids, and some of us didn't. And we were a village. We all kind of lived together. It was so expensive to live there. So we'd all live like 5 to a house, and you were babysitting my daughter, and I was over here doing this work, and we were a family.
Right.
And we loved each other because our families were either somewhere else or were close to them, but we created that. I think that's a lesson just for anything.
Hope Valley is that place, right?
I see that, yes.
Because Hillary was right about that. It takes a village to raise a kid.
It does.
It does. And
It does.
it's what we sort of all had growing up.
Right.
A lot of us, right?
That's true, yes.
Other families, other friends who helped take care of us and watched out for us and kept us out of trouble. And, we still need that.
Yes.
And that's sort of what Hope Valley provides.
It was funny because when I grew up, any adult, it didn't matter if they were biologically yours or somebody's other mother, if they said sit down or said go to you had to do it.
Right.
You do it.
Right.
I teach
Right.
my son that, by the way.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I want to do a total change of direction real quick because Hallmark is in our chat and we're so excited that they're there.
Yes.
Because they have another question for you, Brian. But this one's easy. Wait, where'd it go? It was about
The
I
cooking.
lost it. Okay, that question came
Elizabeth's
yeah.
cooking.
Okay, so Erin also wants to know if Brian would eat Elizabeth's spaghetti.
I made a whole thing about that.
You had an
Sorry,
issue with
I had a
that.
total issue. It looked like something. I was like, that's not spaghetti. I made a whole thing on the show about that. I was like,
I'll just say, I'll eat it. I'm Italian.
I would
There you
eat
go.
Elizabeth's spaghetti anytime. I just won't touch the shepherd's pie
oh yeah,
because you can't see what's in the middle of it.
Yeah,
A pot pie, I'm not eating out of the stove.
that's so funny.
That's good. That's good. That is good. I
Oh
like
my
that.
goodness.
I would try any of it, okay?
I would eat it.
Sorry, folks.
that is
I would not.
hilarious.
Well, it's all movie food anyway.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
Right.
been prepared by other people besides our mouthpiece.
It just looked a little weird to me. I don't know.
Okay.
On purpose. She's
So-
trying.
To wrap the episode
Yeah, yeah.
up,
Oh,
we
yeah,
see
yeah.
the ant comes into the photo, the picture. I keep saying
I
photo.
know photo of the picture. Yes, the
Whatever.
picture. Yes.
But okay, so do you think they'll actually break up the family?
I already told you, if they do this, I'm going to be a crying mess. I'm going to tweet him directly. Some direct message for tearing my heart out. I hope not.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to
Alright.
say no.
You can't show so much screen time between these two kids that we love,
Yes.
Yeah.
and just to break up a family.
He's just nodding. He was saying, I'm like,
I would be in a
Brian.
real pickle if we weren't going to make you all happy, wouldn't I? So
oh my God. Great answer. Great answer. Oh my
So
God.
good.
Hallmark Channel, it's Hope Valley.
That's true. That's true.
Hope. All right, so let's think hopeful.
Yes.
Let's think
Be hopeful.
positive,
Hopeful.
optimistic here.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it won't be messy, but
True. Well,
Ooh,
No,
that's
but-
good.
no family's perfect.
that's right.
That's true.
You're always going to have situations that come up. It's how you deal with them to get there as a family.
That's right.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into you, Brian.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
The executive producer, Papa Hardy, in
Yes,
the
Papa
studio
Hardy.
with us.
Papa Hardy.
This is so
Wow.
much fun.
Yes, they all call you
feeling
that.
old now.
Well, I'm right behind you. Don't worry, we're right behind you. I just want to start out by saying that, and I'm going to kind of start with this question because we're kind of talking about themes, and there are a lot of religious undertones in this show, and so you and Michael Landon Jr. are Christians, correct?
We are.
So what I want to ask you, to me, it's a great amount of it. Like it's not totally preachy or anything like that at all. It's a really good amount.
Right.
I think for most people to watch the show and just enjoy the show, of course. How important is it for you to keep the Christianity in the show?
Well, let me answer it this way. I learned a great lesson when I was on the writing staff and producing staff of Touched by an Angel,
Okay.
right? Because that was clearly a show about angels, and the angels would quote scripture, essentially.
Yeah.
The messages that they would give their assignments each
Yeah.
week
Oh,
were,
I loved it.
scriptural, hopeful messages, and usually it was not anything more explicit than God loves you and has a plan for you. Don't despair,
Right.
right? Fear not.
Right.
And, for me, it was a perfect sort of like you say, just the right amount of faith in a television show, because honestly, for that network, CBS, that was broadcasting Touched by an Angel, they're broadcasters. They're not narrowcasters.
Right.
They're not,
I like
They're
that.
not looking
love that.
just to preach to the choir. They want to reach as many people as possible.
It's a huge
the
hit,
Hallmark
too.
Channel is to say they want to reach as big an
Exactly.
audience as possible.
Yeah.
So what I like to say about the faith aspect of When Calls the Heart is that it's great virtue television.
I like that.
Right?
Okay, I like that. Yes.
Because the great virtues that you can find in most of the major faiths of the world are very similar.
Yes.
The golden rule, kindness, right? Forgiveness, redemption. All of those messages you find in most of the major faiths of the world. They definitely are in Christianity. You know, that's sort of at the heart of it. But I want this show to be seen by as many people as possible and stir up good conversations around the water cooler.
Yes.
If we were just a Christian show,
Right.
I don't think we would be able to do that. But for those in the audience and our Hardys who might be of the Christian faith, they spot plenty,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
But we have many Jewish Hardys who love our show. And they love the Old Testament. They're not so into the New
Right,
Testament,
right,
right?
right,
So,
right.
but they spot plenty for them as well.
Right.
So that's our hope. We don't want to preach to anybody. We just want to stir up cravings,
Yeah.
right?
I like that. I like that.
Stir up cravings.
I do. I like that.
And so we know the show is based off of Janette Oke's series,
Yes.
When Calls the Heart, and all of her amazing. And you adapted the book into a film. But starting this show, you actually had some financial problems, like with the recession.
2008, yeah.
You had a lot of
Wow.
obstacles to overcome to start the show.
There's a whole book in this subject.
Oh, really?
I love it.
and talk about faith. This is a miracle show. Thanks to the
Wow.
Hallmark Channel, this is a miracle show. You all know what happened in 2008 when
Yes, we do.
the sky was falling.
It sure was
Yes.
falling.
The entire world. Well, we were in the middle of filming what became the pilot for this show. It was going to just be a movie at that point, and the whole world fell apart. We had to close it down halfway
Wow.
through, and we had to come home sort of licking our wounds. And,
Yeah.
But you know what? 3 years later, the Hallmark Channel said, "We love what you made there. Why don't we finish it?
Wow.
Let's make a movie first." And then when they saw the movie, they said, "We're thinking about getting into the TV series business. Would you guys be interested then?" It was like, how high do we have to jump for that?
Yeah. Really.
Yes. What do you say?
And so, the fact that we went from a kind of a broken project for a whole bunch of reasons, and namely, the financial meltdown in America, from that, thinking that kind of, honestly, I thought I was done. I thought at my 25 years in the business, I thought this is the worst thing that could happen. I'm done with the whole business. It's just too hard. And yet it went from there to now season 3, 158,000 tweets last night from
Crazy. I
our
love
Hardys who love the show so much.
They do.
So if you want to talk about miracles, I'll just say, read that. Look at that.
Drop the mic.
Yes,
Drop the mic.
exactly.
That's it. That's true.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of goes into what was your reaction to the Hardy love out there, the reaction to the fans. Did you expect this? Are you just completely amazed by? I mean, people, we've talked about this. The Hardys, you guys are so amazing, and
Amazing.
But they even will say, I got a Twitter account just to talk about When Calls the Heart. So what's your reaction to that?
We have 118 people watching. The
Oh
most
my
you've
gosh,
ever watched
Hardys!
live.
Hardys are amazing.
Hardy love.
Thank you, Hardys. We love you. Look, when we were making season 1, 12 episodes in season 1, we were so sort of in the wars of getting those shows done. It was very hard to have much bandwidth to even know that the fans were responding. So after a couple of weeks of airing, we started to see this hashtag Hardys popping up on Twitter, right? And it was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then there were memes that were popping up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was the most interesting, there was a meme somebody did, the most interesting man in the world, right? From the
Yeah.
Dos Equis
Yeah.
Yes.
He was saying, I don't always watch When Calls the Heart, but when I do, Okay, I always watch.
Right, yeah, I saw that one.
And there were so many interesting things that were just bubbling up out of the TV audience landscape, and we were just kind of breathless. We were working hard trying to keep the show going, but after about 1,000 of them on Facebook, we started to say, you know what? They started their own fire. Now we're going to help them.
Yes.
Right? We're going to pour gasoline on them. And the channel was very gracious, Hallmark Channel. They began to put #Hardys up on the screen as an
noticed that.
encouragement.
Yep.
Right? Because they understood more than us that an organic grassroots fan group is hard to come by. You can't buy it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can try.
They have to just love the show. And by God's grace, somehow we were able to make a show and have continued to make a show that they love, they respond to. And I think that, as we were saying earlier, that I think the big reason for it, I think it's a good show.
Right.
We would love to do more and bigger and better. We'll do the best we can with it. But they're starved to death. The reason the Hardys are responding to Wynn Calls the Heart and to the other Hallmark programs is that they're starved to death for family content because nobody else is giving it to them, right? And we all love these other shows, The Walking Dead. I watch all those shows just for my own benefit and research, and some of them are very good, but nobody is giving people hope. And when I did Touched by an Angel, 20 million people a week watched Touched by an Angel.
It was a huge hit.
That was a
right?
big show.
Well, right now, nobody else is doing those kinds of programming except the Hallmark Channel. So, it's if all those other networks don't want to do it, hey, we will keep doing it.
That's
because the Hardys are there and responding, and they're growing.
And the Hardys are definitely responding.
Yes.
To the point where a couple weeks ago, Brian, we started a petition.
Yes.
We started a
For
petition,
season
Brian.
4. We
Yes.
posted in Facebook and Twitter. We
Yes.
posted the link out there, and we let the Hardy community do what it does best.
Yeah, they did.
And they actually signed it. So here up on the screen, we see the Hardys calling for season 4, and we have over 1,258 signatures
gosh, that's
for
awesome.
season 4.
Yay,
Brian.
Well,
Hardy!
Nice
So,
job, guys. Well,
props to the Hardys.
I have to remain sort of like Switzerland in this whole issue because we can't try to manipulate things. But obviously, we would love season 4. We have so many more stories to tell, and I think if the audience continues to show up like they have been,
Like so.
I think something good will happen there. So, but that's amazing. I didn't know who started that, so
And
That's
pretty
her.
amazing.
it was me.
Pretty
Yes.
amazing.
This
But-
girl right here.
But shout out to Elizabeth Lashley. She did a lot of promotion for us on
Yes.
the Facebook group.
Yeah,
and
she's
whatnot.
here. She's in our
She's
chat.
here.
Elizabeth
Shout
is
out
one
to
of the
you, Elizabeth.
is one of the earliest Hardys. In fact, I met her and her son.
Oh.
I met her and her son. She's probably watching. Hi, Elizabeth.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
She's
Wow.
here.
She's in there. Yeah.
Met her in Atlanta, Georgia. I was speaking at another event, and I posted on Twitter that, hey, I'm going to be in Atlanta. Does any Hardys out there want to come have coffee?
Oh.
50 showed up.
Oh
That's
my God! Oh my God!
Elizabeth and her son and her
Oh,
husband.
that's
I would
so.
have definitely done
Anyway,
that.
we love them all. They're
Oh my
awesome.
God, that's
Yes.
so great.
They're
So
awesome.
I'll give credit where credit's due. She really pioneered
She did.
that
Yeah,
and
she
whatnot.
did.
So thank you, Elizabeth, and all the
Very
Hardys
cool.
who actually signed. I was just amazed at how many signed so fast.
know,
It's
they
like
did.
that's pretty much the population of my hometown. so
Is it up now or is it?
yes, the Hardys calling for.
Oh, he's still out there.
It's still out
Yes,
there.
it's
Oh, yeah,
still
Still
out there.
signed.
Yes.
You may get a
Anyone can
surge today.
Yes.
Ah, yes, we hope so.
Yeah, please sign it, people. Everybody, please continue to sign
We'll
it.
keep promoting the link
Yes.
out there because
We have a town to build. That's what I say every time we
does.
talk. We are building a town and this amazing Hope Valley. We need more time.
Yes.
Yes.
do.
And Brooke Shields coming on end of the season.
Shields coming
We need her
on.
on next season. We need more.
I
love
am
that.
so excited
I
for
love
Brooke
Brooke.
Shields to come on. I had seen some of the behind the scenes that's on the hallmarkchannel.com for Wynn Calls the Heart, the special interviews that they do. And she was talking about her character. And she's just sassy broad. What I think is the term. She's
Yeah.
something similar to that.
Jack's mother.
I am so excited.
Me too.
She's
Me
going to
too.
stir the pot.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Well, she's awesome. We loved having her. She's so
sure.
good.
So how involved were you in getting her in? Was that the casting?
Well,
or was
you
that...
know what? I'm going to give credit to our partner Brad Kravoy from Motion Picture Corporation of America. He's Michael and my partner in this, and he has a great relationship with Brooke from past. In fact, they have a series of movies on the channel, The Flower Shop Mystery.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
I've watched them.
And so he knows Brooke, and we started thinking, because you kind of want to do what we call stunt casting right at the end of the season to see if we can just get
Give
a
it a boost?
big finish, right?
Wow.
And that most shows do this.
Yeah,
right?
they do. They
They'll
do.
add some big stunt cast. We had James Brolin in season 1.
Right.
And
right.
so, anyway, when we started thinking about bringing Jack's mother to town, we thought, well, the list is pretty short of people that would fit that bill, and she was like number 1 on the list, and she said yes. So,
It's excellent.
thank you, Brad, for that piece of casting.
Thanks, Brad.
We're
Thanks,
so
Brad.
excited. So one more question before we start wrapping.
Sadly wrapped.
I don't want this to end.
I know,
I
a
know,
4-hour
I know.
show. We're not done
Just
yet.
keep going and
The hour
going.
went by so fast.
I know.
But we know the show thanks to Janette Oke for
Yes.
just conceiving this amazing
Yes.
book series and in helping with the show and whatnot. How much creative involvement does she have with the show?
You know what? Jeanette has been wonderful with us. She reads every script. She gives us
wow.
her input because we want to stay true to the spirit of her books. Like with Little House on the Prairie that Michael, my partner's father, did. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't write 200 episodes.
Right.
Right. So Jeanette is responsible for sort of creating the world, the milieu, right? And then we have to land there and keep her values, her core values alive while we're sort of inventing new stories. But she loves what we're doing so much that she and her daughter have written 3 books about this town, Hope Valley.
Oh,
New
wow.
books. They're new When Calls the Heart books.
Oh,
So
well,
when are they available?
you can just-
Yeah,
It's like a-
2 of them are out
Marissa's-
already.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
Marissa,
Well,
you know about that?
Marissa.
fortunately, I have Amazon already queued up.
Like, where are they again?
Yes.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, so she and her daughter have loved this sort of new take on her books, that they've created more books that
Wow.
sort of follow that storyline.
There you go. So more stories
That's
to
exciting.
tell.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us,
you.
Brian.
Thank you,
so
guys. It's an honor and
It's been
pleasure to be with you. I'm
such
so
amazing.
excited for what you guys are all about and what you're doing. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Can't wait to watch not only all these shows, AfterBuzz shows, but the other ones on some of the other shows that I like to watch.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Books, the
Great.
books.
Yeah.
If there's a show you love, good chances we cover it.
Yes.
We
Very
do
true.
so much.
I might be
here.
on a few other ones. You might see I do a lot of shows here.
Okay. All right.
Oh, but before we go,
Friendly face.
Before we
yes.
go, we do have something for you.
good thing for Maria, who's sitting on the couch.
Yes.
Was this
Maria, the amazing Hallmark
Yes.
publicist.
Yes.
Okay,
Shout out
folks,
to Maria for helping
We
me.
wanted to
getting
thank him for coming to the show.
Oh, that's
Little
great.
makeshift thing that we made for you.
So for
His
those
little
listening,
DIY.
Very
those
cool.
listening on
Thank you.
iTunes,
Oh,
we
listening on
have a
iTunes.
present
Yes,
for
look
Brian.
at that.
And it's
that's
little
great.
DIY.
Little
with
DIY.
lots
So
of
James, describe.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay, so it's a painting that we painted. It has a heart on it, a circle, and a square, and a couple ampersands. And so it says #Hardee's, #Hallmark Channel, #WCTH. And it's from Marissa, Maria, and James, 2016 to Brian.
wonderful.
That's one thing
Thank
for
you.
you. We're not done.
Thank you.
We're not
We're
done.
not done.
And you have to take some of the cookies and the cupcakes
I
back
will.
with you.
Please do.
I will.
And also, because we want more success for the show, a little piggy bank full of hearts signed by the 3 of us.
And it's not empty.
And it's
Yes.
not empty. You never give an empty piggy bank.
I learned that one
Parties
from
forever.
James today. You're not, you don't give empty
To
piggy
Brian,
banks.
March 21st, 2016, has all your signatures on it.
My own AfterBuzz swag.
Yes.
I love it. I
This
love
bag
it.
is yours too, so it's all yours.
Thank
That's
you
for
so much,
But we
guys.
appreciate it.
Thank
Yes.
you.
on the show.
And
We-
we appreciate
And
your
the show.
time.
We love you. We love the show. And we
Yes.
love everybody on the show.
Yes,
and
we
we
do.
just want to keep talking about it for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
So real quickly, before we leave, quick predictions.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I'm scared.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, James, go. Just go.
Rosemary and Leah are going to get married. Those ones going to get
We
married.
see an engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Cody and Becky are gonna stay, and who do I think is gonna get engaged? I think it might be Rosemary and Lee, because I don't think he wants her to leave.
No.
Yeah.
I think so too, because I think in the first episode I thought it was Abigail and and Frank.
Yeah.
No, I will take that back, and I think it's Rosemary and Lee.
I think so.
Brian, do you have a prediction?
I'm all
I'm going to predict
Season
there's going to
4?
be a lot of gasps.
You guys, I'm so excited.
Fair enough. All right, so to end it all, thank you everyone for listening. All you Hearties, you are amazing. Where can everyone keep following you?
James Lott Jr. everywhere. Just type it in.
All right, and Brian, any upcoming things for you? Where can people follow you?
At BRBird on Twitter.
Yes, Brian, I follow you on Twitter, so I'm going to watch you tweet this coming week, and I'm so excited. You can find me at Maria Provenzano on Twitter, and all my information will be there. And Hearties, thank you. We do this for you. We love you guys, and we really appreciate your support.
Yes, thank you everyone listening. You Hearties are amazing. You know how much I wanted to do this, and the fact that we have Brian right here sitting in front of us is
amazing.
It came to fruition. So hard work, you guys. There you go. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. Thank you, everyone. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those fun social media platforms. At AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep signing the petition.
iTunes. Go to iTunes. Like us. Do it.
We want
Yes,
season
iTunes
4.
too.
iTunes, yes.
We want season 4!
We want season 4 and more seasons after that.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, thank you, Brian, and thank you all. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.